Pokemon Infinite Fusion, the best Pokemon fan game there is, has 150,000 fusions for you to choose from, and around 50 of those are completely custom, so you end up getting things such as Machamp. Today we're going to be trying to beat this game with only Machamp fusions. This could go great, or take a turn for the worst. And to make things fun, let's do a hardcore Nuzlocke, as I haven't done a hardcore Nuzlocke in a while for this game, or in general, and I'm curious how good Machamp fusions really are. On top of that, this will be randomized for some added spice. And if you guys do enjoy the video, well then, good. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe this time. You decide if you want to stick around here. But yeah, hopefully we don't get too many sleep paralysis demons this time. So basically, in order to do a Machamp fusion run, we need, well, Machamp. It is the beginning of the game though, so they are Machops and not Machamps. And we have a total of 6 of them, so if a Pokemon does die, I'll just reuse the Machops for different fusions. Starting out, we get to choose which starter will fuse with our first Machop. Snubbull, Bulbasaur, or Axew. Okay, this isn't a bad lineup at all. Now, I know you guys are probably screaming Axew or even Bulbasaur, but to be honest, I think Granbull would look great with Machamp, so I'm investing with this one. And this will in turn give Green a custom fusion, which is good. Axor is adorable. Yo, and Snubbull is very attack heavy. That is some insane damage. Looking in our PC, or I guess Professor Oak's PC, we pick up a Machop and smash them together for this little beauty. She looks ready to beat someone's. Snubchop sounds like something I'd eat for lunch, but hey, I wouldn't try taking this guy down just to eat. Now, No Guard is one of Machop's abilities, and it's a great ability that we can use if the pairing Pokemon has a terrible one. However, Snubbull has Intimidate, which is probably the best one in the game, so I went with that. With that, I went to go grab Oak's Parcel, and he's given us Pokeballs for our first true encounter. And our first encounter is Doduo. Well, this can't be good. Now, one extra rule for you guys is we are going to be using custom sprites only, so I actually spoil the finished fusion for myself to see if it is custom for later, but for you, it'll be a surprise. Dodrio does have a custom sprite with Machamp, and I gotta say, it's actually not cursed, so stay tuned for that. Of course, I am not going to go through every single encounter I get, but if I see some cool things, I'll show you guys. Now, Machop and Doduo actually have 2 custom sprites, and later, part of the fusion loses a custom sprite, as do most of the fusions in this run during the middle stages, but here's both of them, and I like Maduo better. Lady Chop looks like he's about to go to school. He's very cute. I did try to catch a Marill in Verdian Forest, hoping for huge power, but the game said no. No broken Pokemon this time around. However, we do get to see some cool fusions. Voltorb and Routes have no reason to go this hard. It also has no reason to go this hard on me. It had Sonic Boom, and I had to sack Lady Chop. This is unbelievable. Like, what the heck? Oh, and this bug catcher has 2 other Pokemon. Yeah, I lost my first attempt right there. And guess what, guys? This was the very first trainer I fought aside from Green. Also, why did I name him Green? Isn't that like the girl? Anyways, round 2 was Fletchling, Unknown, and Magby. I went with Fletchling, and that means blue goes with Unbee, which to be honest, looks like it's a piece of coal, so it kind of works. Now, unfortunately, Machop and Fletchling don't have a custom sprite, but I promise it will. Our first encounter was a Honedge this time, and it's bad since I couldn't weaken it with the moves I had, but by some miracle, a Pokeball caught it on our 3rd try. Thanks for looking out, Arceus. And thanks for giving us this masterpiece of a fusion. Jeez, he kind of looks like Leo from Ninja Turtles. Oh, no way, we got Doduo again? Now, Cleffa doesn't have a custom sprite right now, but trust me, it will. For now, it looks like Kirby is just in Machop's body. Well, so much for Fletch Chop. Do you guys want to know what it died to? Dragon Rage. Another guaranteed HP move. Oh, I am never gonna win a Nuzlocke of this game. Ooh, Brock is a Steel-type gym leader. This should be fine as fighting is super effective. So he leads this as I lead Honchop. This is good as Karate Chop is 4 times effective. Or at least it would be good if this thing didn't flinch us 3 times in a row after our Sword Sands. Seriously, Brock, that's how you want to win? But that wasn't the worst of things. No, Brock has Smearario. I know I put the randomization intensity at medium, but a Lucario in the first gym is a bit overdramatic, don't you think, game? This thing could have a fighting type move, so I did go into Maduo for free because he used something. Yeah, something. I have no idea what it was. I wasn't paying attention. Regardless, Maduo outsped and a low kick easily cleaned up. That was honestly pretty scary. I know you guys know what it used, but I'm gonna guess it was either Sketch or Bone Rush. Well, it had to have been Bone Rush because Sketch wouldn't actually hit that turn, would it? At least Brock gave us Gyro Ball for Honchop. From here, I went toward Mount Moon and found a Charmander. This is perfect since Fletch Chop got, well, chopped. He actually has 2 custom sprites as a Charmander, but I like the one who takes after Charmander more. Wow, never knew I needed a type swapped Bulbasaur until now. This is literally heat. You know, I didn't realize this, but these thugs are probably picked off the streets, and yet they're handling a very technical machine. Giovanni, I know you got the money to hire some better help. In fact, instead of bullying this guy, why don't you just hire the scientist? You know, the one you're forcing to do stuff for you? I guess why would you hire somebody when you could just force them to do it? Yeah, you know what? Giovanni's pretty much on the right track. Sorry for intruding. As much as I love older game routes, you just can't deny that Route 4 in Kanto is probably one of the worst routes ever. I mean, this is literally it. I'm sure there's worse, but what is a Pokemon fan's favorite city to go in France? Paris! Bro, your jokes are just getting worse every time. Speaking of something getting worse, our custom Charmander went back down to a regular fusion. We are seriously investing with these guys. Also, this game was not getting any easier starting with Blue. Sure, Chansey's bad, but there's no way Chelsea doesn't have Dragon Rage. Well, at least 2 low kicks did the trick. The rest of his team was a piece of cake, thank God, but I must say Shroomquill is a must-have in a run, at least for moral support. Okay, I lied. Furchop got trapped by Fire Spin by his starter and, well, died. And if it wasn't for my 100% accurate Sing, Clefchop would have been blipped as well. Well, at least it was only a Furret. Pidgeot, you're up. Finally, a banger Pokemon. And it makes it even better that I have a Fairy to be resistant to Dragon Rage. Now, although this did seem cool at the time, Machamp's fusions with Garchomp is kind of like Furrets. And like Pidgeots, and like so many others. Honestly, I rarely see things that fuse very good with Garchomp. So let me know down below cool Garchomp fusions. This is hands down the cutest Pokemon I've ever seen in this game. I just want to play catch with it. Yo, imagine if I were just to leave Bill here. That would be so mean. See you later, bozo. I did go back to Mount Moon for a Moonstone, and this way we can get Clefable right away. And believe it or not, this is a custom fusion. The team's looking solid except for a couple who aren't custom yet, and Misty was up. She's rocking ghost types, and I'm rocking this monstrosity. But Mabel has Dragon Rage, so I couldn't resist. This move made light work of her, and she did have Dew, which I wish I had in my Duskull only video. You should totally go check that video out. And you know what else you should check out? Manscaped, the sponsor of today's video. This video is brought to you by Manscaped. You ever been in the shower, shaving your nether regions, and you cut yourself in your nether regions? No, it only happens to me. Well, anyways, that's no longer a problem. Manscaped provides the best tools and hygiene products for your body. Don't believe me? Then let's check out the Perfect Package 4.0, which they sent to me. Guys, you need to be shaving down there. And you need to take care of yourself. If not, you're gonna be producing some weird odors, and trust me, no girl wants that in a guy. Or guy, I mean, I don't judge over here. With the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, your balls will thank you. No, seriously. It says it on the back. I don't know if you could see that. This thing is awesome and really smooth, and I don't think I'm ever gonna cut myself again in the shower. Yeah, in the shower, this thing is waterproof. If you don't like shaving in the shower, you can use their newspaper as a shaving mat. And it's wireless, so no more mess on the sink or the floor. It also has an LED light, which will also show you the battery life right there. They also have a wireless charging dock, and us as gamers love wireless things. They also have something you all need: ball deodorant and toner. And if you order now, you get 2 free gifts: some Manscaped briefs and a high quality carrying bag. I mean, this thing is... Order it and find out for yourself. So if you've been lacking in the hygiene department down there or anywhere, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off, plus free shipping, and plus the free stuff when you use code JULES at checkout. Thanks Manscaped for sponsoring this video. You know, speaking of Duskull, we actually caught one, and I've actually fused Machamp with it before. Huh, Shinx and Shieldon make Shidon. Get shit on, Shidon! Oh my god, what is that? Ugh. In Vermilion, I did fish up a Mantike. I know, you might be thinking, how good can a Mantike be? Brothers and sisters, it's amazing. And it gets water absorbed. From here, Blue did want a battle, and Manchop was perfect for Cindatop. But I was afraid when his starter came out, so I got trapped once again with Clefchop. For some reason, I thought I had knockoff on him, but I didn't, and he paid the price for my mistake. It almost killed my duo, but thankfully Charchop knocked it off. And hopefully he knocked Blue off this freaking boat, because he took another kind soul from me. Lieutenant Surge is our next challenge, but the level cap for this gym is at level 26, so we can actually just evolve every Machop right now. Wait, they're not evolving. It's level 28? Why did I think it was level 25? Well, I kind of need Manchop to evolve, so I at least could do that, which was nice, but we did lose our custom sprite for a little bit, and now most of the team is pretty naked. That should change in about 2 levels. For now, we have to fight the Fire-type Master, Lieutenant Surge. He leads a Cyndaquil, which gets absolutely obliterated by a Water Pulse, but Blazorb comes out next. Imagine this thing is just chasing you by rolling around. I'm definitely screaming in fear. Speaking of fear, I did fear an Electric-type move, so I did go into Gachop, and by the way, I was using the wrong fusion before, and this is the one who will be the custom one. The other one was a Ground-type, and this one is a Dragon-type. We did did come in on a flame charge, but I wasn't wrong to switch, as next turn he showed Electro Ball due to his speed boost. It did do a chunk, but Machamp had Sand Tomb, and this is quite effective. Another thing is I have no guard, and Sand Tomb is fairly inaccurate, so this works out. We take one more Electro Ball, and his Citrus Berry couldn't save him. Machamp is his final Pokemon, and I gotta say, I need that as a pet. I have no idea what typing this is, and it could have an electric type move, or it could have a water type move, so I feel like I should just stay in, as it hits super effective against my other two fusions. So it launches a Bubble Beam, and being a dragon type lets us eat that, and there we go. A single Sand Tomb takes home the victory. Good job, Machamp. You see, I told you this was good. Man, that is a 10 out of 10 right there. I love how they gave him a surfboard. Now this, not so much. At least Charmeleon got some gains. Jesus, my man is my personal bodyguard in Kento. Alright, you guys know I am absolutely horrible at references, so go ahead and do your thing in the comments. Well, this still looks like shit. I did catch a Delibird though, and it's pretty funny. I don't think he'll stick around too long though. I was scared of finding this Parasect because I really wanted it, but it was really low level and it didn't want to stay in the ball. Thankfully, we did end up catching it, but to be honest, the fusion wasn't the best. I don't know how I made it through Rock Tunnel without Flash, but somehow I did. And I didn't lose a single Pokemon doing it. I'm pretty proud of myself. But seriously, I mean, Charmander should be able to use Flash. He's got a flame on his tail. I ended up finding a Lampit, but it has the infamous move Fire Spin. So yeah, Delichoke totally got burnt to death. It's alright though, I think it's a pretty good trade-off. I don't think Charchoke is very happy to see another fire type though. Huh, I didn't know Blue could have non-custom sprites. Maybe the game couldn't find a custom sprite out of the 50,000 that there are. No longer will Unmar destroy my team. Honchoke looks like a badass holding the sword. No, I almost killed my Mareep encounter. That would have been bad luck for 7 years. I can't actually use this thing right now as it looks really bad, but it'll look great as a Machamp. By the way, where's its hand? It's just the nub. Why you would let your Eevee walk with a completely random stranger, I have no idea. I mean, I could literally just give it to Team Rocket for money if I wanted to. But I guess she didn't really care about it anyways since she let me keep it. And it was a Luxio. You're bugging, lady. Especially since Machoke and Luxray turns into this. Look at those pecs, man. It also has a reverse fusion too. Not as cool in my opinion, but I'm sure it's a reference to something. Sadly, this is where Luxray peaks, as with Machamp, the fusion gets way worse. But for now, until we get Ampharos, the Centaur is where it's at. Meanwhile, in the Celadon sewers, Erica and I found a Trapinch since we already have Charchoke. Oh wait, what just happened? I can't switch out because of Arena Trap. No, Honchoke! Oh, that really hurts my soul. Oh, but at least we got a Trapinch. I don't know if that's a good trade-off, but it's a good fusion at least. Butterchoke, welcome to the team, I guess. Jesus, man. I mean, if this was in real life, I'd be so freaked out. Imagine those big beady eyes just looking at you from across the street. Yo, I thought this was Munchlax and Torterra, but this is actually so smart. Giovanni, why the hell do you have me turned around like that, bro? Ooh, this is a nice fusion. Giovanni was going super well until Gastolosion came out. I went into our specially defensive Manchoke, but I was scared he'd die, so I went into Charchoke on a switch. But eventually it came back out, so I had to sack Butterchoke because this thing's Shadow Ball just hits way too hard. From there, Luxchoke's bite was enough to KO from where it was at. Oh hey, they removed the perv. Finally, some justice. So much for Butterchoke on the team, but at least we got Parachoke. Now, Erica is a fairy type gym leader, which is pretty scary as it's super effective against our fighting types, and I lost Honchoke. However, Parachoke luckily does get the move Cross Poison. This Lairon definitely destroyed Parachoke right before I kill it due to a flinch, but the real problem was Cleflord. To be honest, I don't know why I brought Manchoke, as I couldn't really hit this thing with the moves I had. Eventually, Erica did switch into Sylvie, which didn't have much to hit us with, so that was a plus, but back came out Cleflord. Lampchoke went down to a big brine, and right when I was about to destroy this big whale, it used Rest. I mean, if it wasn't for confusion, I definitely could have struggled to death there. Man, this is a bloodbath. On the bright side, we do get to see Charchoke evolve into a bigger Charchoke. Man's in the gym 24/7. And you know who else is in the gym like that? Sepchoke. Like, this guy is definitely on some type of substance. Koga this time around is a dragon type master, which is pretty cool. I could totally see Koga loving dragon types. Honestly, I feel pretty confident about this gym since every one of my fusions can just learn Ice Punch if they wanted to, and I also don't need Gotchoke since Trapinch is just sitting in the PC. I will say one of the trainers nearly KO'd Manchoke, but it is what it is. Duckshire is Koga's lead, and that is an amazing fusion. Who's with me? It still hit extremely hard with Dragon Claw, and the following turn he just straight up switched into Voltva. This didn't KO, which is bad as it probably does outspeed us. Knowing a potion was coming, I did Ice Punch once more, but in case an electric type move was coming, I went into this Giga Chad. Earthquake works too. A quick attack later, and that was out. And a Psycho Cut later, our Giga Chad was out. To this skinny man. Like, get this man some food. The bad news was the Dragon Claw didn't KO this monster, but the good news was his Dragon Tail didn't KO us, meaning Manchoke is now out, and this is his ace holding a Black Sludge. This means bye-bye Scrawny Boy. Now Dungeon was great as it was a normal type, and Brick Break does a sizable chunk. He did switch, but we outsped Duxure easy, and now it's just a matter of time to see if Manchoke can live another hit. Also, he had 4 Pokemon, and I was only allowed to bring 3. How is that fair in any way? I just noticed. Oh, Sandstorm. Yeah, I mean, that works too, Koga. Well, we definitely could have wiped out there, so I'm grateful for Koga's kindness. I am pretty sad about Cell here, though. At least now the level cap has opened past level 40, meaning all of our Machoke can now evolve into Machamp. First up, it's time for Manchoke to get out of his early 20s with the surfboard and turn into a full-fledged dad. This kind of looks like that one SpongeBob character. Now, I will say there's a reason I don't really do Nuzlocke in this game, and here's one of them. Charchoke slims down when evolving into Charchamp. Don't get me wrong, this is good, but Charchoke was 1,000 times better in my opinion. But of course, in a Nuzlocke, I do kind of have to evolve everyone for the stats. Now, Luxchoke is one I just can't evolve. It really looks like 1,000 times worse, but to the point where I can't even look at it. And besides, Ampharos can now be added to the team, and this is one of my favorites. I mean, at least this Machamp fusion is super buff. And remember that Armaldo I caught a while back? Look at this beast. Wait, why does it look like he's got a bikini on? Oh no, I can't unsee it. Now, I wasn't gonna do Empoleon since we already have a decent water type, but this is actually a steel type. And I'm glad it is, as this fusion is an 11 out of 10 hands down. Again, let me know what it's referencing, as I have no idea. Now, I'm not gonna be using Dodrio, but this one is really funny. All 3 of them are just going at it constantly. How they live, I have no idea. Now, like we saw, they don't all have to be super buff fusions. Gengar here is pretty small with ghost hands in the back, but this is actually not the one I'm going for. This one looks a tad better to me with the floating hand. This team is just a bunch of Giga Chads going on summer break. I mean, Amphachamp's underwear is just a bunch of wool. Also, I just want to say we can actually run Zap Cannon because we have no guard as our ability, so this is absolutely broken. Oh man, what have they done to my boy Raikou? Is this a reference to Team Rocket's Magikarp submarine? It's finally time to fight Blue again, and his Porycold did scare me with Discharge, but everything was good there, and Glabat was no issue either. But then Golazard came out, which sounds a lot more frightening than it probably is. It did have Dragon Rage, which was kind of scary, but thankfully with the confusion we got with Water Pulse, we were able to switch in Amphachamph, the true alpha. A single Zap Cannon destroyed that duck with ease. Unmar did make me revisit some bad memories, but a Lava Plume didn't KO us, and we did have to it. From there, I did go into Amphachamph on a Lava Plume, and while it went for Sunny Day, I went for a Smackdown. Weaslash was very cool, but I mean, does Arma even look phased? Don't mess with a guy that's not afraid to wear a bikini in public. Alright man, they're just doing the legendary dogs dirty today. He got squished down so hard. Now this was not a good matchup as one of them had Earthquake and Seed Bomb. The good news was on Magmar, I was able to Brick Break as Blue used Lava Plume, KOing the Rhyhorn, and the Entei was confused, and yeah, it killed itself, so that was totally clutch. The next turn was really bad though. We do half with Shadow Punch on the Vaporeon fusion, but Blue and I got obliterated immediately after. It got even worse as Armachamp got hammered the following turn by Earthquake and Inferno, which did burn, and Smackdown couldn't KO Lampion. Now I'm realizing I have a severe weakness to ground types right now, and I lost my Levitate Magar, as well as Armachamp just now. The good news was Amphichamp did take out Lampion, but man, it was a close one. And I really don't want to lose my mascot. Qui-Gon still scared me though, as it did have Earthquake, but thankfully it used Work Up one turn, and Ampochamp was able to live one as Blue and I slowly whittled him to death. This is one of the hardest Giovanni fights I've ever had in this game. That's nearly 10 deaths on the board, and I am not happy at all. At least now we can add Trapinch to the team. Look at Flychamp just straight flexing on us. We get it, bro. You go to the gym. We can also add Zochamp to the team, and it's pretty basic, but it'll have to do. Water type Sabrina definitely makes my anxiety go down a bit, thanks to Amphichamp, but I don't know. I said basically the same thing for Koga, and he surprised me, so I think I'm just gonna shut up. Yo, I am in love with Chi9. This is a very unique fusion. So for Sabrina, I did lead Machamp, as I do have Thunder Punch on him, and hey, we've seen this before. This thing actually never attacked us, which was great, as I was able to bulk up to +5, and she did switch in Sweetash, which was an amazing fusion, but as you can see, it couldn't live a single hit. Pretty much everyone else on our team was a piece of cake. Finally, an easy fight. Aw, dude, this is such a cool Pokemon. I really want to do a first stage run. Sometimes they're just better as little children. Now, I did get a Mawile from the fossil, and this doesn't have a custom spray for Machamp, but it does for Machoke. Just take a look. I don't know what it's referencing, but this is a level 100 sleep paralysis demon if I've ever seen one. Oh man, let's unfuse that. Now, I'm not going to use Choke, but I did just want to show you guys as it's really cool, and the Machamp one is my favorite of the two. The reason I won't use it though is because I need Zochamp for psychic types, and it's the only one I'd want to get rid of, but I just can't. Regardless, we truck on with Blaine, who has rock type Pokemon. This is kind of fitting since he did move his gym into a cave thanks to the whole volcano incident. Even though we have fighting type Pokemon, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't terrified. I did figure this thing would have Levitate, but I Earthquaked anyways turn 1. It also has Destiny Bond, so I'm shitting myself. I did Dragon Dance and then Dragon Claw, but Flychamp just took way too much damage from Hex, so I ended up switching, and it's a good thing too, as Blaine decided to blow up the entire gym. Maybe Cinnabar didn't get destroyed by a volcano. Zochamp did manage to live, but now Togirier was out. Figuring I was faster, I did go into Empochamp after U-turning, but it actually went for a ground type move. Are you serious right now? I ended up switching in on a potion, which was great, and from there, we took a Stone Edge like a champ, no pun intended, and retaliated with a big EQ, which led him to then switch into Galariar, who also got EQ. Thank gosh the AI in this game is just dumb. With that, 2 more Earthquakes destroyed both of those Rhyperior fusions, but it wasn't over yet. Basti Slash was still on the field. Now I could Earthquake potentially killing this thing, but I don't really want to risk it. I don't see in my head a move that could do big damage to Machamp, but I could be wrong. However, in the end, I could just Zac Zochamp. We get him for free, which is amazing, and even with a Pasho Berry, a Scald does a heaping amount to this thing. One more, and that's how you turn around a fight, especially if he just ends up switching for no apparent reason. From there, I made my way into Mount Ember and slowly seek my way past a lot of Rocket Grunts. If you don't want to lose Pokemon, it's probably best to just not fight at all. Of course, we can't skip the Triple Fusion boss battle, but I did bring some assistance. Megachamp here and Magchamp. You see, Giovanni, I brought a whole bunch of bodyguards with me just to get that hat. So if you don't give it to me, they're gonna beat the absolute shit. So basically, I brought Megachamp to Light Screen right away and sack. Thankfully, Air Slash is 4 times effective to actually do enough damage to us with the screen up. From here, we can now send in Magchamp, who's only weak to Air Slash. If we were a rock type, this would be better, but what can you do? Now with this, we can Rock Slide on every single bird, popping all of their damage reducing berries and doing a good chunk. Articuno did get an Omni Boost with Ancient Power, but I think we flinched Moltres and Zapdos safeguarded. We take a big Freeze Dry the following turn, and a huge Rock Slide goes off, nearly killing Moltres. Thankfully, Magchamp didn't actually die here, living everything that was thrown at him. I know I've only loaned you for a short time, Magchamp, but you are truly part Machamp. Unfortunately, he does go down to a Freeze Dry, but Light Screen is still up. Now, I kind of came into this fight kind of thinking that Flychamp was going to die, but she's the only other one who knows Rock Slide. So we take huge damage from Freeze Dry, and now we have to just pray we don't miss since we have Levitate and no guard. Oh my god, Flychamp is an absolute G. She was able to take 2 of them out, and Z is almost down and out. And Zapdos flinched? Holy cow. My best bet now is to just go into Ampharos as it resists Discharge and is neutral to Air Slash. So we go in on a pathetic charge, and now a no-guard Stone Edge connects for the KO. None of our main team members died in this fight, and I'm thoroughly impressed with myself. Now give me the hat, Giovanni. I don't think you want to refuse any of my Machamp fusions. Stop hiding behind the feather. Of course, Giovanni has normal types. Well, this should be a cakewalk. I haven't used Charchamp in a while, so I led him and he led... okay. Yeah, I don't even want to know, Giovanni. I did do some damage with Fire Punch, but I guess it's part poison and not grass, but I was able to bulk up as it was using Gyro Ball. Clefcon almost died, but it didn't, so I wasted some of his potions, bulked up to +4 and another potion, and destroyed this mama. Dustlax did scare me, but Fire Punch did the trick, and Giragon Z was a nice little custom sprite. It did give me a scare since it used a special move, but Charchamp is a champ, and 1 Brick Break also did the trick. Oh, come on, another one of these? Now you think I'd switch, but I just have so much confidence in Charchamp, and it paid off as Giovanni gave up and just used Heal Block and Magic Room. Buddy, I don't even use potions in my non-Nuzlocke videos. You really think I was gonna heal in a hardcore Nuzlocke? Come on, bro. With all the money we've been getting winning all these gyms, I'm hoping to take this man to a chiropractor. That neck is not looking good. No! Don't eat him. He's not food! Remember how I was raging about Weenix? Well, here's Belix, the inferior fusion, so we just have to kill it. Oh god, this thing is naked. None of these are good, but I'm just playing with Charchamp's life at this point since the Machoke fusion was way better. Yes, I'm still salty about it. Alright, fine. You deserve to live. I'm telling you guys, Duskull fusions are just different. And so is Clink Rock, apparently. Okay, this is the only Miltank fusion I will accept. This goes hard for no reason. In fact, go ahead and give me some milk, bro. Now, before we take on the league, I will be saying goodbye to Charchamp. I just don't think he's as useful as everybody else. While I was looking up fusions fusions, I did find this cursed one. He's so deformed. Poor thing. 1 like equals 1 prayer for him. I did want Alakazam, but unfortunately the stats for this thing are just everywhere. This one is frail and slow, and this one is fast, but it hits like a wet noodle. Very cool fusions though. In the end, I went with Nidoking for that poison typing. Nothing too crazy, but it's a good change of pace. With this team of hunks, I take on Lorelei, who keeps her ice fruits, which is amazing for us. Tauras didn't necessarily die in one shot, but since she potions so many times, and Cross Chop is a high critical hit move, eventually you can imagine what happened. Delusion was after this, and 2 Zap Cannons with a para to outspeed on turn 2 was just enough to KO. But then things got weird. Sepkuno came out, and I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park now. Freeze-Dry did end up doing a chunk, and Amphitamp chopped this bird up for dinner. Gotta get them gains. For Glaray, I did go into Empochamp on a big blizzard. Luckily, we didn't get frozen from it, and Dynamic just barely missed the kill. I did go for Aqua Jet, but Lorelei ended up switching into Zovile, so now I need to switch as well. Going into my own Zoroark fusion, since it couldn't do much, we made easy work of it. Or at least it would have been if we didn't flinch. Glaray didn't stand much of a chance from there. Now, I had a feeling someone in here was going to be a Grassmaster, but I still decided to not bring Charchamp. Milionium was Bruno's first, and I went for a Light Screen as he went for a Rain Dance. From there, I paralyzed him and went directly into Nidochamp, luckily on a Parahax. Now, I couldn't use a Fire Punch because of Rain, but Nidochamp gets Mega Horn, and I have no guards, so after a bunch of those due to his potions, he eventually dies. Bruno, I don't know why I feel like this Pokemon was your very first ever. And it definitely shows, as Whimsibat has Hurricane. That hurt. Unfortunately, I do just kind of have to sack Nidochamp as I didn't put Fire Punch on anybody else. However, here comes that weird AI again, and Clefsaur took a big Fire Punch. Looking back, I probably could have just switched on this thing, but I was just so focused on sacking. My bad. Luckily for me, I never took off Fly from Flychamp while I was just doing errands. And we did take a chunk from Petal Blizzard, however, he switched back into Golbat, letting us take that monster out. Big W for the team there. Empochamp is the only one who is resisted to Petal Blizzard, so that's why I swapped in, and now we can Swords Dance since I figured it can't do anything to us, and I'm completely correct. 1 Stone Edge later, and that's down. Whimsivire did Thunderbolt us, but we demolished that thing, and Venuckle was his final Pokemon. I just kind of guessed it was part rock, so I Dynamic Punched, however, it could have been Bug, and I don't know if that would have killed. Regardless, Empochamp came in super clutch there. We did catch another break with Agatha being Rock type. Kermence was scary as it could have a Flying type move, but ultimately, a lot of Zap Cannons did the trick thanks to her potions. However, Starardos was out next, and this is amazing, but terrifying at the same time. This thing could have a Ground type move, but I didn't really want to switch, and I'm glad I didn't as we lived a Zen Headbutt, which I forgot it could even get, and a single Zap Cannon took care of that. Amphitamp is in rough shape, and Luxlure is looking to prey on him. I figure Flychamp is a safe switch, and I'm correct in that assumption coming in on a Stone Edge. I did Dragon Dance, but we took a ton of damage after. Luckily, an Earthquake did KO from full. Pararon is really scary as it could have Mega Drain or Giga Drain, and we're dead, so I make a bold switch into Empochamp on an Atomize. From there, we Stone Edge, and she just Heavy Slammed. I guess it's Swords Dancing time. I got 2 up and went for an Aqua Jet. Dry Skin? Well played, Agatha. Well, anyways, once that's out, her final Pokemon was just a Dark Pass. A passage into the dark. I mean, that's basically what Darkrai is. This could have went bad though, as she had Zap Cannon and it did paralyze Empo, but he came through for the big Dynamic Punch. These fights are horrifying right now. I think Electric typing fits Lance's style, and he led Rykon. I did go for a Light Screen in case, but he just went for Outrage. This is pretty bad, but I'm gonna try Empochamp. We took 1 more Outrage, Swords Dance, and thankfully the confusion got the best of Lance, so we didn't have to take any more damage than needed. A little risky, but it worked out. Clefvire was out next, and I'm glad I'm at +2, but even so, we couldn't KO this thing. On top of that, when he fully restored, my last Stone Edge did way less. I prayed Aqua Jet could do it from there, and lo and behold, it did. Empo is definitely MVP so far for the league, but things were just getting started. He had a Zekrom and a Zapdos fusion, 2 electric types. I had to look up what typing this was. It's a Dragon Electric type, and I was gonna be really upset if it wasn't, as Stone Edge is out of PP. But guys, it just didn't matter. He had Fusion Bolt and destroyed us. I mean, if I knew that, I would have just went into Flychamp. Empo, you did great, my friend. Flychamp, time for some vengeance. Now, for some weird reason, we got AI acting up again using Rain Dance, but hey, maybe it was for Thunder. I did EQ, but then he fully restored it, and I think he had 1 more, so I ended up Dragon Dancing, but to my surprise, Lance switched into Luxray Deluxe you, which works out perfectly as it popped Intimidate. So now my Dragon Dance cancels that out and we're at +1 in speed. Outspeeding next turn, we EQ almost KOing, and then it used Barrier, so I was like, hey, I'll just try Dragon Dancing. But then it crunched with the defense drop to go along with it. To conserve Earthquakes, I used Rock Slide for the KO, and guys, it gets much worse. Kyodos. Safe to say Flychamp's days are probably coming to an end. I have to look this one up as well because it's just that crucial right now, and it is a water and electric type, which makes sense. None of these good Pokemon ever keep the flying type, but I definitely don't KO with Earthquake and the rain is up. There's basically two things I can do here. I can try and KO Kyodos, which I don't think so, which means I probably should have just set up more, or I can go into Machamp on a water move, but I mean, we're just gonna die to an electric type move anyways. What I'm trying to say is either way, we're probably fucked. I'm just a little less fucked keeping Flychamp out. Oh my god, Flychamp, you freaking legend. How you KO'd, I'll never understand, but I'll take it. Suck it, Lance. Suck it good. Defeating Lance meant we only had one more thing to do to prove ourselves. Blue. Oh, this is awkward. I immediately got off a light screen, and can you guess what Blue did? He got off a light screen. What? Anyways, I did Zap Cannon, but it did absolutely nothing. This Pokemon was bad because I think it's electric type and fairy type, since Zap Cannon isn't super effective, but the problem is it could have a water move or an electric type move. It has shown me 3 moves so far: Light Screen, Signal Beam, and Cotton Guard. I could sweep with Flychamp right now if his last move is an electric type move, but it could be water, and if it is, then we just die. But the same is true for Machamp, so do we risk it all? I think we do. I mean, we have 4 Pokemon and he has a total of 6, and his levels are pretty much higher than ours. I feel like it's more likely to have an electric type move, so I went into Flychamp and we actually went in on a full restore. Lo and behold, the last move was actually Hydro Pump, but it missed. We dodged a huge bullet, but this is still good as we can now go into Machamp, who has Water Absorb. It was doing a lot with Signal Beam, so I went back into Flychamp hoping I could bait Hydro Pump, and this did end up happening. I kind of wanted to just waste Hydro Pumps as it's literally a free sweep if we do, and I don't think the AI will go for a Hydro Pump on Machamp, so we should be pretty safe. So we waste all of Blue's Hydro Pumps and go back into Amphinchamp for a nice Light Screen. Wait, what? How? I must have counted wrong. Regardless, I was persistent, and even though he crit on a Signal Beam and left us at 12 HP, we were +3 in attack. Flychamp, it's finally your turn to do your— oh, we missed. Can someone tell me why we missed? Cotton Guard raises defense, Hydro Pump is inaccurate, Signal Beam has a chance to confuse, and Light Screen raises special how the fuck did we miss? Wait, why is Machamp missing? Well, I mean, there's pretty much no hope of winning now, but I just don't understand why we're missing. I feel like I just got duped. But anyways, eventually he did switch, and Kafaliki took a while to KO just because of potions, and Galpass wasn't playing around. This man destroyed me. I did manage to KO it after living a close combat with Zochamp, but then Unmortar came out. I mean, just maybe if all my Machamp fusions weren't so slow. Just maybe. I don't know, guys. Maybe I just gotta set the level cap a little bit higher here or something. This thing is level 64. But like, I still don't understand how we missed. Like, why am I missing? I shouldn't be missing. I'm gonna feel like such an idiot in the comments. Does Blue have plot armor or something? I don't know. I don't care. I still had a ton of fun doing this, and I feel like me losing to this game every time I play a Nuzlocke of it is just a staple in the videos at this point. But yeah, all the fusions we used this time around were super dope, and honestly, Empo did a lot there, but Machamp the entire game was my main. So I can't even choose anyone else as my favorite here. He's just that much of a Chad. But like, seriously, why did we miss?